Some moments in sports are just so raw, so full of emotion, they get etched into history forever. Picture this. Super Bowl V. The Dallas Cowboys have just lost to the Baltimore Colts in the final, heartbreaking seconds. As the game-winning kick sails through the uprights, a single silver helmet is launched high into the sky, a perfect symbol of pure, agonizing frustration. The man who threw it was defensive tackle Bob Lilly. But how does a moment of total defeat become a key part of a Legends Hall of Fame story? Well, that single, desperate act didn't define Bob Lilly. Not even close. Instead, it showed the fire burning inside a man who wouldn't just find redemption but would go on to define the very soul of a franchise. This is the story of Mr. Cowboy. Before there was America's team, before the dynasty we know today, there was Bob Lilly. Back in 1961, the Dallas Cowboys were a brand new expansion team, and they made Lilly their first ever draft pick. He wasn't just another player, he was the cornerstone. A consensus All-American at TCU, Lilly brought instant credibility to a team that was literally being built from scratch. He was the first piece of the puzzle, the foundation for everything that came after. He was the work ethic and professionalism that became the Cowboys' standard for generations. This wasn't just about football, it was about building an identity. And it all started with Bob Lilly on day one. Lilly actually started his career at defensive end. But midway through his third season, Coach Tom Landry made a decision that would change the franchise forever. He moved Lilly to defensive tackle. It was a stroke of genius. Lilly completely revolutionized the position. At 6 feet 5 inches, 260 pounds, he had the agility of a man half his size, the quickness to knife through double teams, and the raw power to make an entire offensive line collapse. It's no wonder NFL films would later call him the unblockable, unstoppable force of the doomsday defense. He was the anchor of that legendary unit, a defense that terrorized the league for a decade. And he was always there. Lilly played in 196 straight regular season games, an incredible display of durability for a guy in the brutal trenches of the NFL. In his entire 14-year career, he missed only one game. That helmet throw in Super Bowl V? It was the result of years of getting close but falling just short. But it was also a promise. A year later, in Super Bowl VI, Lilly and the Cowboys came back with a vengeance against the Miami Dolphins. The game was a defensive masterpiece, and its most memorable moment belonged completely to Lilly. He exploded through the line, chasing quarterback Bob Greasy backward, and backward, and backward, finally dragging him down for an unbelievable 29-yard loss. It's still one of the most iconic plays in Super Bowl history, and it sealed the Cowboys' first ever world championship. Redemption was his. Over his career, Lilly's dominance was simply undeniable. He was picked for 11 Pro Bowls and named first-team All-Pro 7 times, cementing his place as one of the greatest to ever play the game. So why Mr. Cowboy? It's a nickname he was famously humble about, but one he earned 1,000 times over. In 1975, he became the very first player inducted into the Dallas Cowboys Ring of Honor. Then, in 1980, he was the first player who'd spent his whole career with the Cowboys to be enshrined in the Pro Football Hall of Fame. He set the bar. He was so respected that for years, whenever a player asked for a bigger contract, the front office had a standard reply. Well, I can't pay you more than Lilly. No one ever argued. His number 74 is officially retired, a permanent tribute to the man who started it all. As Coach Tom Landry once said, a man like that comes along once in a lifetime. Nobody is better than Bob Lilly. From the lowest low of a Super Bowl loss to the highest high of a championship, Bob Lilly's journey is a powerful lesson in resilience. He was more than the first draft pick, he was the heart and soul of the early Dallas Cowboys. He didn't just play the game, he set a standard of excellence that would define a franchise for decades to come. He was, and forever will be, Mr. Cowboy. What's your favorite memory of Mr. Cowboy? Was it the epic sack in Super Bowl VI, or another legendary play? Drop a comment below and let us know. And if you love hearing about the icons who built this game, make sure to like this video and subscribe and click on the notification bell. And don't forget to click on the playlist above to watch more NFL Hall of Famers of his era. Thanks for watching.